music on quietly in the background. Hi, thank you so much for coming here today. Just so you know, we're also live streaming this session on the Music Hackspace YouTube channel. Other things I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, so I have some things prepared, but I also have a lot of things not prepared because I thought it'd be fun to maybe work on some things together. But mainly I want to keep it as casual and as open as possible, so feel free to interrupt me at any point and ask me anything. That also goes for anyone who's watching this online. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. So the plan for these next few hours is that I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I ended up in all of this and why I'm doing all of this. Then I'm going to get a bit more into the tech side of it, so explain to you how it all works. And then I have some things set up for you to try B.A.B.Y for yourself, if you like. And then I thought we could potentially collectively create something that also one of you can be controlling. So that's kind of my plan. But in the meantime, if you'd like to know something else that I'm missing or whatever, just ask me. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's start at the beginning. Shall I turn the music off? Okay, this was the beginning. This is me at the age of 5 or 6, and I loved performing. I loved dancing and singing. But I also really loved computers. So I always had a fascination for machines and things like that. But it wasn't until much later when I discovered that you could combine those two interests, so music and technology. So at first, I learned how to produce my own music. So I use a computer to create all of the tracks of my songs. But then, this is some images from 2012 when I was performing with the tools I had at my disposal at that time, which were button and fader interfaces. And that kind of left me hunched over my computer, interacting with all of these things in front of me, but for the audience maybe, hi, welcome, thanks for coming. For the audience, it wasn't always clear what it was that I was doing, and it was also not, for me, an interesting way of performing because I was so busy with everything like down here that I didn't really have time to open up and connect with the audience. That wasn't good enough for me, but luckily there was another brilliant lady called Imogen Heap, and she was at that same time, she was working to solve this problem, how to make electronic music performance more engaging and more transparent and more performative. She came up with the idea of the Me gloves, and there's the gloves that I'm wearing today. And this is a photo of one of her first performances with one of the prototypes, so it was all still really wired and everything. But so I followed this project. And then, so I live in Amsterdam right now. I'm from there, but I was living in London at the time, and she was hosting a free workshop, like something like this. Actually, total same vibe. And they were presenting. She and her team were presenting the Me gloves, and you could try them. And when I saw that for the first time, my mind was blown because I really saw how it could change everything about electronic music performance. And I wrote the team a message that night saying all of this, and I was so inspired, and I really felt like it was going to be a breaking point, like a turning point. And somehow they invited me, Kelly Snook, who's one of the directors of Mimi, invited me for lunch the next day, even though I had no background in technology at all, or programming or anything. I'm a musician. I didn't even study music. I studied history because I was scared of the conservatory. So I went to study books instead of music. And but I did love music, and I had this interest in computers, but I didn't really know anything yet, except for like producing my own music in Ableton. So somehow I got into this lunch, and we just had a great connection, and for some reason they hired me to come work for them. So this is a lesson. If you really love something, or you really admire a person or a project or whatever, tell them. If you want to do something there, just tell them, because they were working so hard on these gloves and this project, and for me to be so inspired by it for them was also really special. So that's tip 1. So I started working for Mimiu, first helping soldering and ordering parts and dealing with people who ordered gloves. What actually are they? They're fabric gloves with flex sensors all across the fingers. So they measure the bend of each of your fingers. And there is also a sensor on the wrist, so it measures this movement, and this movement, and this movement. They don't know about each other. They only know about basically the angle of this wrist. So that's basically what the gloves do. They measure these data points, and they send that over Wi-Fi to my computer that's over there. Hi, welcome. Sorry, I already started. So they send movement data, just basically the zeros and the ones, to the computer over there. And then there's an application that we built called Glover. I'm going to show you that in a little bit. And there we do all the magic. There we do the connection between the movement and what can then be a music MIDI or OSC message. Oh, by the way, I'm quite interested in what your backgrounds are. Can we just have a quick round of hands who makes music in here? Cool. Any Ableton Live users or DAW users? Okay, cool. And any TouchDesigner users? Cool, sick. Okay, great. We're officially today, we're a TouchDesigner meetup. For you who don't know what TouchDesigner is, you'll know a lot about it by the end of the session, but it's an amazing visual application for programming your own visuals. I only learned about it not even 2 years ago, so I feel like I'm very much a beginner still, but I was able to create, within like a few months, I was able to create this whole show that I'm playing at the Barbican here this week. So that's tip 2. You should start, because it's easy to, not easy, but you can learn this for sure. Okay, so it's good to know what kind of how I should get into things. So we won't get too nerdy. Oh yeah, is there anyone online saying anything about what they're? No, okay, cool. We'll see. Okay, so I started working at Mimiu in 2014. And obviously, I was really thrilled to be part of this invention, but I was also very thrilled of the idea of using them for my own music. I'm going to show you now a video of the first night I got to take a glove home with me. So I had one, and then within 5 minutes, I was able to program an interaction between my hands and the sound. You might see that there's like some beers scattered around the table, so I'm really giddy because of the amazingness of the gloves, but I was also a little bit tipsy. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, I turned the sound off because my album was still on. Wait, let's turn it off. Okay, so here is Chagall in 2014, really happy with her first Mimiu glove. So the only thing that I'm doing here is I trigger a note, and then I roll through the octaves, and then I think I put a little bit of filter on it. So the only thing I really had to do was this, I think. But what I always find striking about this video, that I'm immediately performing this really simple effect. And that's, I think, what this is all about, is that you can embody your sounds in a way that is you, very much you. So in my time at Mimi, I put these gloves on a lot of people, because we used to go to conferences and then people could try it. And I would always have the same presets, and everybody shows their personality immediately. So that's super cool always to see that, everybody imagines sound in their own personal way and moves the sound in their own personal way and makes sound happen in their own personal way. So that's always really exciting to me. And then the next morning, after this last video, I decided to try some effects on my voice. I'm a singer, and because I sing by myself, I often use the harmonizer. So it's a machine or a plugin where you sort of pitch in real time. So live, you can pitch your voice to different notes, so it sounds like you're in a choir. And to change any of the parameters of this harmonizer, I usually had to, the box that I was using then, I had to go into System, Edit, Harmony, Scale, and then Change. So it was like a lot of button presses I would have to do on stage live to make any musicality happen inside this choir. But now, let's see if I can smoothly put it up. Yeah. Okay, so now to actually even engage the harmonies, I would just have to lift my hand. Ooh. So this I did like I hadn't done anything before with any of this stuff. So it was just, I could now just take the movement of this hand, so basically this up and down movement, and then just connect it to this choir. And then to change from major to minor, from minor to major, rather than having to go edit, harmony, blah, 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 all those steps, I could just go, hear it? So it's changing to major just by moving this finger from an open hand to this posture we call secret finger. I mean, Imogen Heap call this secret finger, so now everybody calls it secret finger. So that was Sappho's song. I'm not going to play you the whole song, but it's on the internet, and this is a still from the video. Yeah, let's go back to talk mode. So yeah, that was really exciting. And then I started performing with the gloves, also doing some other effects. So for example, I could not only affect my voice, but I can also get other sounds out of my computer by, for example, do the secret finger again. Sorry. Do the secret finger again, but now it's triggering a chord, and now it's triggering a different chord again. We can't quite hear it right yet, but if I roll my wrist, I can open up the filter. So the further I have my hands apart, there's also more reverb. Yeah. Oh, Okay, it stopped. Okay, don't know why that happened. Let's see. Why did it stop? Did I change the scene again? Huh? Oh, maybe, did my battery die? No, I can hear my voice. Oh, Ableton is freezing. Yay, we're having a technical error in the middle of the demonstration. It always happens. Okay. I'll just force quit it and restart. That's so strange. So welcome to my lab, where things happen all the time and I have to fix them. That's cool. In the meantime, we can watch this. So I started performing with the gloves, just singing and moving and playing music with the gloves. But I noticed that often the audience wouldn't fully believe that I was doing all that stuff live and in real time, because when you're creating the movement by moving, you might as well, if you don't expect any of this, you might as well just think that I'm just a really good dancer, dancing exactly to the movement, to the music, sorry. But instead, obviously, the music was only happening because I was moving. So I decided to experiment with visuals, projections, to prove to the audiences more that I was definitely connected to the computer, and give it a more visual reference. So this is one of the early visuals that we did. And in here, I'm manipulating a video where I'm in myself. So at first, I'm playing a kick drum with my gloves, and then I record my voice and scrub through that sound, so sort of through the WAV file, and then I'm also scrubbing through the video. So now I'm recording the kick. So now it's playing by itself, but still affecting the video. Hi, welcome. So now I'm recording. And now I'm scrubbing through it, through the audio and the video. So yeah, that was part of calibration. Let's see if Ableton is back up. Let's open. Oh dear, wait. Let's open it from the Finder. Where? Uh-oh. Where is the masterclass? Oh, this is the backup folder. Here. Okay, let's give that a minute. And then in 2018, I was making a VR experience around focused listening to music. And it was around a song of mine called Surely. And in the VR video, I wanted to perform the movement that I used to perform the sound during the performances. So I was using a motion capture suit for this, so something to track my full body movement so I could be an avatar in the VR experience. And I was using an Xsense suit, which is a device from a Dutch company. It's really really good data that you get from this suit. And while I was doing that, I was thinking, what if I could turn this suit into an extension of my glove, so I could be fully I could use my whole body to play music and also be physically fully present in my visuals. So that's what I did. I got myself an accent suit and hacked away with some of my team. And so this is a video from the first, like when we just put the suits into Glover as well. So that's the application for mapping movement to sound, which I'll need to show you. But yeah, so this was on that day one. So you can see I'm not wearing any gloves here, but it's the body movement that's being tracked. I'll show you a bit here as well. Oh, is Ableton working again? Otherwise I can't. Oh, come on. Would I like to recover? Yes, okay. I'll show you in a little bit. Maybe now I can show you Glover then. So this is Glover, my other baby. So yeah, an application I worked on for a very long time together with Adam Stark and Tom Mitchell from Memu. So Glover does a few different things. So it receives movement data from either a glove or a suit or a Leap Motion or a Kinect or well, actually not Kinect, but a lot of different movement devices. Your phone, iPhone, you can use your iPhone with it as well. And then here you can actually see the raw data of my glove coming in. Oh, let's kind of make it a little bit neater. There we go. So you can really see here just my index finger move, just my middle finger. Yeah. And then here you see the data come in from my wrist sensor. So left to right, up, down, roll. And this is where the actual exciting bit happens. It's actually a little bit of AI. It's an algorithm that you can train to recognize static postures. So when I was just playing those synth chords and I was doing the different chords with the secret finger, this is how I could do this. So I can give this different type of examples of what, for example, my fist looks like. And now, let me do it. Just let me do it to show you. I've just deleted this data set. And now I'm going to train all of them. So I make a fist. And then I now teach these snapshots of what a fist looks like in a few different directions. Feed that into the algorithm. And now a puppet hand. Puppet. An open hand. A one finger point. I'm just teaching it all the postures that I need for my show. So I don't have to do that again tonight. I never have to train it again. It just knows me by now. But okay, so now I've given it all of these data points and now do save. And now it knows that I'm doing an open hand or a fist or a secret finger. Yeah. And the idea behind this is that it's fun that you can use your movement, for example, to control reverb. For example, if you do this, then the reverb opens, but you don't want the reverb to be open all the time. So you can say, for example, do we have reverb here? Okay, let's make a mapping. So the second part of Glover is that you get the data, and then you kind of map the movement data and analyze it a little bit, and then map it to MIDI messages or OSC. So MIDI, for you don't know, is a protocol to control electronic music applications or synthesizers or stuff like that. So here we can get like the input. So for example, left orientation, pitch, and now you can see that when I'm moving my hand like this, that signal is coming through. So, but if I would now add a fist to this, now when I'm just moving my hand around, the data is not coming through unless I make a fist. And this is how I can give myself control and kind of design when I'm controlling what sounds or what visual effects. Do we have Ableton? Oh, this is not Ableton. Oh my gosh. Okay, continue. Yeah. Yes, can we have a microphone for a question, please? Yeah, but I don't really hear. It would be nice for the people online to hear you too.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to see the connections. How does it work from the glove to the computer?
Yeah.
What are the sensors? Are you using extra sensors or receivers outside your computer, or is it how does the connection work?
Yeah. So for the gloves, well, the gloves and the suit. So there's a chip in here that sends the movement data of the sensors in my fingers and my wrist over Wi-Fi as OSC messages. And here's my router. And the router receives those messages. It's connected to this Mac. And that's running Glover. And the same for, well, the suit is a little bit more complicated, but I'll show you in a little bit as well. Does that answer your question enough? Yeah. Is there any other questions so far? Yeah. Can we have, sorry. You can just interrupt me, but I'm also happy to, continue.
My question is more around like, so I'm a student at Goldsmiths, and I've played with vision-based systems to do manipulations and with Macs.
Okay.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on like camera-based? Because you showed the VR thing, which I presume is doing camera-based detection.
No. So okay,
but,
well,
camera-based versus like a suit, like sensor-based.
Yeah. So let's get into the suit then for a little bit. So how can I need to center her. Wait. So there we go. So here is the interface of where my suit data comes in. This is actually a Unity environment at the moment. Sorry, TouchDesigner. In here, we get all the data from my suit and visualized as my avatar, my Chagall avatar. You can see, I'm just proving to you right now that this is actually live, because I wouldn't program a video where she was moving like a lunatic. We have all of this data from like this whole body. And in Glover, back here in Glover, I get this too. So it's sent from Unity into my Glover project. And this is where I do the same kind of analysis as I do on the glove. So even with the posture recognition, so here we split the posture recognition up in the lower body and the upper body. So in the lower body, you can see now my legs are together, but now they're apart. Right hip, knees bent, well, etc. And also I get the continuous data. Where is my suit? Here. So for example, let's say left foot X position. So these continuous positions are basically the distance from that point on my body compared to my hip bone. So if I now move my, left foot. Wait, see. Oh, great. Why is it not working? Wait, let's try I. Why? Oh yeah, see now. So my left foot, the higher it gets. So we can use this really useful data to control something. Was that the question? That's the answer?
So a lot of this is detected with the camera these days. So why don't you use camera versus like a sensor?
What kind of camera do you... The question was why I'm not using a camera with some smart software instead of all these wires on my body, right?
like
Yeah.
to do body detection or hand detection.
Yeah.
Like it's with Connect or just a webcam these days, it's possible to do that.
Yeah. So I started this project with the suit in 2019. Then, the AI stuff wasn't developed as far yet with the hand and motion detection. Also, specifically with the Connect, there was problems with, what's the technical term again? Basically that the Connect didn't know if you were crossing your own limbs and stuff like that. Also, it wasn't detailed enough. Basically then this seemed like the best professional option for me to never have any issues. I am excited about what's happening now in terms of sort of software applications to use normal cameras. But I have this now, and it works for me. So for now, I'm going to be using this because also, like all of these developments, they cost a lot of money. I need to hire people to make this new interface, and so because I do basically all of the content programming. So all of the music you hear, all the sounds and interactions, and also all of the visuals, and obviously everything what's happening in Glover, I do myself. But the hardcore mathematical stuff, I always work with a team of other programmers. Yeah. So.
I think also that with the camera, it's very difficult to observe 3D motions because with the camera, it's difficult to observe 3D motions.
Yeah.
It's very complicated.
Yeah, exactly. But I think there's a lot of development on that front right now. So I am excited to experiment with it soon. But yeah, as I said, my system that I have now works really well. I've known it for years, and this is just my instrument right now. I don't need to necessarily always improve or change my my kit because I can, or it's possible. I think for me to be comfortable in my tech, that's for me the goal, because we're talking only tech right now, but for me this is all a tool to perform my music and to connect with audiences and make people feel something. And for me to be as comfortable and so I can perform the best way I can, it needs to work, and I need to be chill on stage and not, So that's why I don't necessarily always want to change everything. Usually, I'd like that I now am at a stage where I'm really comfortable. I really like my setup, and now I can develop more on the performative front. Who's coming to the show tonight? Yeah. You should all come to the show tonight. Or did someone come? Did any one of you come in the last few days? Yeah, you rule. Nice. Do we have Ableton again? Yay! Okay. Let me see if I can show you this. Let's see. Oh, it's still it's frozen again. Oh, that's not good news. Oh. Do I really need to do a restart of the whole computer? Yeah, okay. Shall we do that? Shall we collectively decide that I'm going to restart the computer? Okay, fine. Oh. For you who are at the shows, can you please tell the other people this doesn't happen during the show? Ever. It's really weird. But especially because it was working and it just stopped in the middle of me playing a note, right? It makes no sense. I didn't import a crazy plugin or anything. Okay, well, we can have another look at Chagall. With the Chagall, wow. This is why you play at the Barbican. tech support. So we get all the data from my body, so my head, my feet, my everything. But we also built this virtual stage, and you can see baby in the virtual environment as well. So we also have the data about me, like where I'm walking on the stage. But also you can see that, wait, I'll go a bit to the side. There's these pink circles or whatever they are shooting out of my hand. Those are also points that I can use to, so basically where I'm pointing, but also where I'm looking on baby, and I can make visuals happen there. So I have all of that data as well. And then also this application is controlling the moving heads. Okay, maybe, I'm quite good at multitasking, so I'm gonna open up all these things again. It's my microphone, okay, cool. Oh, thank you, my lovely assistant. Anyone wants to ask me a question while I open all my apps up again? Or I can show you what all the apps are. How about that? This is me in Arizona or Utah last year, which is amazing. Okay, so first we need Glover. Glover. Cool. Gloves are connected. Suit is connected. Okay, great. Then, should we do Ableton? I'm scared. It's really annoying. I'm not gonna recover it because it didn't like that. Is the sound card there? Okay, open this monster set. So I have the whole set basically is, my whole show is in one Ableton set. So it's a continuous program. And then basically runs from the start to the end. But between all the songs, I get into a loop. So there's like song, 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 loop. And then this keeps looping as long as I want it to. And then I press this button on this my pedal. So this is the only tech I have on stage. During the show, this is all backstage. So you don't need to worry about that. But so I can control, stop the loop, or play out the loop and go to the next song with this pedal. So that's kind of my Ableton setup. And then I have all of my music. So most of the music I'm playing live with the gloves and with the suit. But there's also some music already in the backing track. This is something I was really hardcore about in the past, that I felt like nothing was allowed on the backing track. But now I think about that a bit different. It opened, it opened. Okay, great. Does it make sound? Let's see. Gloves in. Yay! Okay. Awesome. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah. Yeah, question.
Have you ever performed in Burning Man?
And where?
Burning Man?
Burning Man, no, but I would really love to. Have you been there?
Several times. Yeah.
Oh, can I come with next time?
Yeah, sure. You would fit right in. So.
Yeah, I would. It's really high on my list, but I'm in search of a crew or a project or something to go. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Now, I would really love to go. Yeah. With Baby or with another project, but I think it would be awesome. Yeah. Okay, so instead of doing the secret fingers, I can also use my knees to trigger a chord. So now it's both of my knees, but it's just a single knee or my feet apart. And then instead of rolling my wrist for the filter, just bend my back. And if I want some bass, oh, where's the bass? Oh, wait, bass. Oh no. Yeah, I'm controlling something and then it always flips over. Let's turn the bass on. Okay. Woo. So to do the bass, oh, I mapped it wrong. Anyway, so now when I look forward, I have bass. I control it. Nice, huh? Oh yeah, where's that kick come from? Let's see. Huh? Where did it come from? Okay. Okay, let's get into the moving heads. Wait, it would be more fun for you to see the visualization. So now I just pressed a button on my hand to make the Chagall avatar sort of in sync with B.A.B.Y. So when I'm walking around, I have there's buttons on the glove. So when I press it, the Chagall avatar will be sent to the middle of the virtual B.A.B.Y. so that all the lights, the virtual lights know exactly where I am, and it's all in sync with the real ones. So if I press the button, she will jump to the middle. Whoop! So, see? So let's do that when I'm actually there. Okay, so let's turn them on. I'm going to use my gloves to turn them on. So two finger points, then I turn them up. So now they're all on. And they're pointing at my face, I think. Yeah, sort of, ish. But I can also, by doing a one finger point, I can make them, other one finger point them at my feet. Very Michael Jackson, right? Or I can use these pink balls coming out of my circles, whatever, thingies coming out of my hands to send them your way. Hi. Okay, and now they're back in my face. So yeah, this is kind of what I can do with it. So I can, with the moving heads as well, I can change everything about them: the color, the brightness, and also so their position, whether they're following me or my face or my. Yeah, now they're gonna shine my belly. But I can also make Ableton do these things. So sometimes I also would program something in Ableton so things happen really in time with the music, or even audio reactivity. Okay, let's get into the LEDs. Are there any questions at this moment? Yeah? Set microphone for you.
Can you later talk about how all the elements connect together?
Yeah, oh yeah, I had a slide about that. Oh, but we restarted, so. I'm not sure actually if the slide will make it clearer, but let's see. Yeah, yeah. So the data. By the way, we're recording this session. If you want to stop holding your phone, but you can record it yourself too, whatever you like. Yeah. So I'm using the Mac to run Ableton, Glover, and TouchDesigner, and I'm using the PC because Accents only works on Windows, so that's why I'm using the PC for the suit. Yeah. And Unity is on the PC, and this is all connected through my switch, and this switch is connected to this box. Can we turn the lights on? No. This is called the baby brain. And the baby brain has two sub-brains here. And that's where all the data from, so all the messages I'm creating in here are sent to, and it's connected to all the LED strips and all the moving headlights, and it's supplying them all with power and DMX to control or make all the visuals. Yeah, so wait, I had a slide about how this is all connected. It's a little bit old, but okay, so this is me. I'm wearing Me gloves, and I'm wearing an accent suit. All the movement data is coming into, maybe it's easier if I just use a cursor because you're all looking up. Wait, where's my, here. So, Me gloves, accent suit, movement data is received by the router, and then the router is connected to, basically it's Glover is getting data from it, and Unity is getting data from it, and then in Glover I basically do the whole, basically Glover is the brain. This is where I collect all of the data, movement data, and then I map it to control Ableton Live for the music, and TouchDesigner for the LEDs. I'm really aware that we need to get into TouchDesigner soon. And Unity for the moving headlights. And then, so this actually I'm not using anymore. I was using a ProtoPixel LED controller. It's now an Advatech LED controller. And a DMX node for the moving heads. Yeah. Is that, yeah?
So I saw that application looked like a Max patch. Why don't you use Max for...
You mean Glover looks like a Max patch?
Yeah. Why don't you use Max for both, like sending to connecting with Ableton and controlling DMX?
I mean, again, it's also a little bit historic. I'm really familiar with Glover. But Glover originally was a Max patch. So when Imogen was working on the first gloves, there was a Max patch to do all these things. But the thing was that whenever she wanted to do something new, they had to make all of these patches again, and it was all super custom. And while they were working on the Me gloves, they also realized that there was quite a lot of interest from other people and other artists to wanting to use this. So there had to be something that was more user-friendly and more just for this, you know? So that's why we decided to build Glover. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, artistic question.
Yeah, I think that it's great, fantastic technology, but you're the one who makes the music.
Yeah.
You are the most important part in it all.
Mm-hmm.
Without you, nothing exists, really. What is your starting point?
Yeah.
What excites you?
Yeah.
When you're doing all this work?
Yeah. So the starting point is always the music for me. I'm just a music addict, and sometimes when I think about music not existing, I don't know, that's a weird thought, but sometimes I have it. Like trying to imagine the world without music, I just want to die. There's no point if that didn't exist. So I love making music, and I'm so happy that I can make music. But I love the sound, electronic sounds, and I love creating audio landscapes that don't exist in the natural world necessarily. And that's the same thing actually with the visual side. I'm really excited by creating worlds that we don't know yet. Yeah, and the endless possibilities of things that are sort of magical. So that's kind of what excites me, and that's why I like using all of these tools. But they are a tool. For me, it really is about, even last night I was sort of half weeping during the show, because it really comes from somewhere deep and real for me. And it's super cool that you can use all of this to make that happen. And that's also kind of my point, and that's why I also like talking about it, because there's like this idea that technology is difficult and hard, male, pretty male, generally, you know, and it needs to be cool and everything. And if you see my show, there's nothing harsh about it. It's all, there's a lot of pink and purple, and it's nothing is straight, nothing is, like, everything is pretty organic-ish, because it's connected to me. Yeah, so that's, for me, the exciting part. Like a sort of magical, bit superhuman world. Okay, where were we? Let's get into TouchDesigner. Yeah. So for me, TouchDesigner, oh, this is the wrong folder. Oh, I have a quick link here. So TouchDesigner is a visual application where you can create visual 2D and 3D visuals without, and it's kind of programming, but you don't have to code. So the idea behind it is that you have, we call them operators, and within it, so it's kind of a node, a block of code that's made for you, and it has some functionality. Oh, it's already started. So this is a baby's mouth. At the end of the show, so baby comes up in the show a few times, and she talks to me, or to the audience, or sings. And at the end of the show, I have become her, and my voice, as you can see now, is making her mouth move. Bah, bah. So yeah, this is, I don't know why we're in this scene, but that doesn't matter. Okay, so let's make this a bit smaller. Oh. Mousing with gloves on is still not, oh God. Okay, so this is TouchDesigner. Let's go a little bit up in my, oh my gosh. How do I close this again? Yeah. Let's hide the parameters. Okay, so TouchDesigner is, so these are lots of nodes. Let's just have a look at what's happening here. I hope it's not intimidating. So, mouth. Okay, so I made an image, for example, I made an image of a mouth. Just drew that in Photoshop. And then, so it comes in at this size, and then I have an operator here that you can fit it to the right size that you want. And then it goes through another operator called multiply, and then it multiplies the image that you have here with anything that you feed it in. So I've fed it a color. So if I change the color here, then also the color of the mouth changes. So this is kind of the idea that you have bits of code that you kind of stick together, and that's how in the end you create a visual. That's like a super basic rule of TouchDesigner, of coding anyway, but here it's more visual. And then it goes into a transform node. In transform, you can change anything about the size of a thing. And here I'm changing the vertical scale. So if I'm really quiet, then you can see that it's like the numbers really small. But if I speak louder, you can see the numbers growing. Because I'm sending a message about the loudness of my voice that comes in here. In voice level. So this is actually coming from Ableton. Let's have a quick look where that's happening. I think somewhere here. My voice effects. Oh no, it's in Send. Or is it not? Yes, it is. So here we have a plugin. Also, what? What is going on? Things are like crashing on me. Okay, well, let's look at something else then. Okay, so this is my whole set of the show. So here I have a list of all of the songs, and then I can control what song we see the visuals of by going from Glover. I send it what song to switch to. So if we go to Lilac Morning, or to In Maelstrom. Wait, let's go to In Maelstrom. So let's also in Ableton go to, go to In Maelstrom. So now we're in the chorus of In Maelstrom. So it's, now this one is connected to the output. Comes out of Ableton, TouchDesigner. So it goes through, it selects, then it has a level where I'm controlling the master fader. So before every song, it kind of can fade in and out. And then, I think it just goes to the output. And it's combed with the interlude. So for the interludes, I have a separate set of visuals that I can kind of crossfade between. So, oh no, see mousing and gloves. So now we're in Maelstrom. What's probably a lot going on in here. But so this is called a network. There's like a whole collection of nodes of visual effects, but also this data from. Well, let's do one where I'm actually controlling something with the gloves. Maybe from the intro. Oh. Wait. So, what is... It's so confusing. Oh, okay. Okay, so now we have data from my gloves. So when I do a 2-finger point on my left, I draw a shooting star. So this is actually, this is also really cool. This is called OSC. That's also a protocol like MIDI, so you can communicate between applications and send messages from the one application to the other. And instead of, with MIDI, you have 28 notes. But with OSC, you can write your own messages. So I draw shooting star left to my TouchDesigner project. And then in TouchDesigner, let's go to the where is... I need my stars. Where are the stars? Oh my god. Oh, comets maybe. Yeah, comets. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't clean up before you arrived. It's super messy. Where is this data coming in? Somewhere here, maybe. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. This feels like you invite someone to your house and it's a complete mess. That's what this is. But hopefully for you will... Yeah, okay. No, the star position. Oh, I need to find this too. Oh, here, look, here it is. Draw shooting star left. Ta-da! So when I do a 2-finger point, it activates this thing. And then also the position of, so let's go to the actual thing. So it's just an ugly circle, look. But when it's on the screen, oh wait, there's one thing that I need to, I have to turn this off. This was a problem in the show yesterday too. So now we have the data. So with my gloves, I say 2-finger point, activate the stupid circle. And then here we also have the position of the circle is measured from my, I think my hand compared to my hip bone. So I think if I'm here, it's also moving that way. But in the show, I'm here, and I'm actually pointing at the screen, and then this is happening. And with my right hand, I have that one. But yeah, as you can see, this is why I was able to create this show without really being a TouchDesigner wizard, because I'm just using circles and squares and like really simple graphic things that are not actually beautiful to look at on the screen. But when you see them on B.A.B.Y, it looks pretty sick. Any question? Yeah? Okay, you can try. If Ableton is happy for me to do that. I'm not 100% confident. What should we put on the screen for you to see? What? The final thing you do. Before I go on stage? No, in your show. Oh, no, I'm going to show you the intro. I think that's better. Because that's kind of the introduction. But I didn't think I was going to do this, so hopefully it will just work. Okay. Wait, let me just try from here whether it's actually... Wait. It looks like it's going to work. Okay. Sven, are you ready for this? Thank you. Wait, I do need to get rid of this mouth because that's not supposed to be here right now. Or will it go off when we're out in the rest? Wait. Why is it not fading out? Okay. No, wait. No, wait. Sorry. I don't understand why the mouth is still... Oh, because it's stuck, because this thing broke. Okay. Sven, can you make a note that I have to fix the mouth before we play the show tonight? Because I'm not going to disconnect it now. There we go. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to try to do the intro. No, didn't work. Oh gosh, maybe a different part is better. Oh, there were 2 counts. Wait. No, I don't hear anything. Yeah, but no, it's not it. Oh no, this is not my show file. That's what this is. It's like my demo file. So maybe, yeah, you put me on the spot there. It's okay. Let's see if Ridgeline will work. Oh, I don't hear myself anymore. Why is that? Ha ha ha. Oh, what is? Oh. Why is my voice not coming in? Oh yeah, okay. I kind of have to change to the other project I will. Shall I do it at the end? Try to do it at the end. Yeah. I'm happy to do it. Just I think now it's a bit fiddly. Who would like to try this? Yeah. Can I have my lovely assistant back? Thanks. So because we can all have a go. Because I'm wearing all of this. I have to admit it's expensive equipment that I got funding for to be able to buy it. But there's a lot of other types of controllers, movement controllers that are way more accessible. So I want to also demonstrate that to you. So maybe it will inspire you to get into this stuff. So I have a leap motion. A leap motion is a thank you. Maybe let's put it here so people can look at B.A.B.Y while they control this. So it's a sensor. It's like an infrared camera, and it tracks your hand. So it's not wireless, but it sits on your desk, or you can stick it. Maybe you've seen it on a VR headset. Sometimes it's at the front here, so you can do hand tracking. You can stick it on your piano or on your guitar or something. But you can also control B.A.B.Y, I think. Let's see. Wait, it's not active right now. I have a little bit of an issue with it, so sometimes I have to re-plug it. Let's see. Yeah, now it's working. Okay, first volunteer, please. Come on. Thank you. Sorry. Okay, let's get into this. First, maybe let's see. So yeah, you stand on this side. Yeah, here. And then hold your hand over it. Both hands. You can do both hands. So on the screen, you can see when you wiggle your fingers and go up and down, you can see your fingers tracked. And also, so let's do one hand. We're looking at your left hand right now. Can you do your left hand? So if you do a fist, is it? Yeah, so it's recognizing already. So our fists look alike. Cool. Okay, great. So let's see if we can get B.A.B.Y to react to you. Oh, the sound is. Oh my God. Where? Yeah, it should. Oh, maybe the fade is. Yeah, that's. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. Why is there a circle? Let's disconnect this masterclass thing. That's what we're going to do next. Okay, let's look at these stars. I cleaned these stars. Okay, so if you open your hand and then go left, right, no. Oh dear. Is it coming in at all? Can you move around a little bit again? Oh, there he is. Yeah. Yeah, so when you do a fist, you kind of activate the harp. And if you go from left to right, you can do it with your fist. And why is it disappearing out of the screen? Oh, yeah. And then with your right hand, you have the blue one. Yeah. Oh, I know what it is. It's a little bit like, yeah. So the higher you have your hand, the more reverb there is as well. So if you're lower, then there's less. Yeah, just keep them up. It's better. See, look, this is her personality right there. She's like a space fairy. What do you think? Do you have any like? Is there anything you feel like we need to change? Oh,
Because I feel I always need to trigger, but I know it's a way to control it. Because I always need to redo the fix to trigger the sound.
yeah. So basically, the idea now is that you activate the sound by doing a fist. So you could say like, just play that note, or just play that note. But you can also hold it and then. Yeah, and then there's a point where the camera can't see your hand anymore. I'll show you where I think. Here we can see what the camera is seeing. So if it's you don't see like the bones on the screen, then it doesn't know where you are anymore.
So this is lower register.
Yeah. This is how I mapped it now, but we can easily flip it around or something. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, so no, I mean I can program things in the question was when I'm programming any of these effects whether I have to have the actual baby there to do any of this. I don't need to, but but I can only see the actual effect if baby is all set up. As you saw, they're like boring, like not very glamorous circles. But this with this preset, for example, it's the same one I was just showing you. So I'm already using that in the show, and I just copied it and mapped the leap motion movement to it. But I did test it in my studio last week.
And can you tell a little bit about the suit you're wearing? Does it have a bend sensor? What kind of sensor it has?
The accent suit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the LEDs. What is the device that programs the LED? How do you send data to it?
Yeah. So you can just keep going. Maybe someone else wants to have a go in the meantime. But I was thinking it would be cool. I'll answer your question also. But it would be cool that if maybe we share some ideas about how we can edit this setup together, and then I'll try to change it, and we can make something together. That would be fun. Anyone else want just come up and come try it?
Chagall, we have a question from the live stream.
Okay, cool. I'll answer this one first, and then do the live stream one.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. That's JB, by the way, from Music Hackspace. He's not God. Well, I don't know actually, but the sensor. So yeah, go. Yeah, just go. You can do both. Yeah. Oh, look at this. So cool. So the accent suit has 17 IMU sensors all across my body. So my head, my feet, my legs, my arms. So I'm using Advatech LED controllers. And inside of TouchDesigner, so my friend Roy, who's basically my TouchDesigner guru. Everybody's TouchDesigner guru, really, but he happens also to be my very good friend. He built an interface for me. Oh wait, no, it was there. Sorry. DMX output mapper. So this kind of maps this video file that we're really creating, maps that to DMX, and that's going to the So here you can see all the red, green, blue channels that send to every arch. Do you need any help? You're good, right? Do you like it? Are you a dancer? Oh, cool. I can see that.
I had the idea about this whole using motion, but then you beat me to it, so.
So you can do it too. I really don't care. I want other people to do this. This is why I'm telling this story, because I believe that, 10 years ago, I didn't know how to do any of this, and I just started with the gloves and then just went step by step, and now I can do it. So I feel I'm starting a foundation to support female and non-binary artists to get into tech and to make performances, maybe not necessarily like this, or just experiences and get into tech themselves. It's going to be called Lovelace, because I feel like there's so much opportunity for creativity here, and people are easily intimidated, and I just want to help, basically. Question from the stream, sorry, I forgot. You can continue, or someone else. What was the question, JB?
So the question from Isaac was, how much rehearsal goes in between presentations, and do you come up with new ideas after every show?
Good question. I do rehearse quite a lot. Yes, because you can see that if I'm not entirely prepared for one thing, then it immediately doesn't work. So I rehearse a lot, and after every big change that I make to any of the components, I'm a little bit superstitious. I run through the whole show again to see if it hasn't affected anything further on in the show. But I must say the current show that I'm playing, I've played now, this version, played now maybe 4 or 5 times, and I feel like I don't need to rehearse that much anymore. And I'm learning more from the actual performances. And do I come up with ideas? Yes, I am. But also, actually, often I don't even come up with technical ideas or like visual ideas necessarily, but I'm experiencing the show myself in a different way. Sometimes, like when I make a move, an extra move to the left or the right, accidentally, it feels like it puts more meaning into that part. So, for example, 2 days ago, what I did for the first time, so at the end of the show, Baby and me kind of become one. What you just saw when I'm singing, Baby's mouth is moving. And for the first time, I felt like I had to move backwards to really accentuate again that we're one thing now. And, that's the freedom I'm talking about. That's why I don't want new tools all the time, because I want to have that space and security that during the show I can do something else and develop also the performative side. But I definitely do also come up with technical ideas all the time and things that would be cool. But I'm currently trying to not change stuff all the time, because I'm more interested currently in growing on the performance side. There's a question? Is it a microphone?
Sorry, I had a quick question.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was wondering, so you use TouchDesigner, Ableton, and the software to control the gloves as well?
Yeah.
So how does that work? So the gloves go to Ableton and Ableton goes to TouchDesigner?
No, so the gloves go to Glover, and then Glover controls Ableton, but also Glover controls TouchDesigner by OSC. So that's this messaging where you can just write your own things in, like star position writes X, and then I send that to TouchDesigner to sort the position of the stars. But also sometimes I use, so this is also an amazing tool that I use for a lot of sort of more sync stuff. So when B.A.B.Y is really responding to maybe backing track or other moments in the music. I'm using a plugin called OSC Par. Wait, that's this. I think it's by, it's a really famous DJ who built this. Sorry, I forgot his name. But here you can also write OSC messages and then automate any movement from Ableton, so it will happen on the timeline, and it can influence TouchDesigner as well.
What is that one called? Plugin?
OSC Par.
Okay, thank you. And,
yeah, I think it's $10 or something.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And how do you power everything at once? Is it a PC you're using? Because I can imagine it's a lot of power that.
Yeah. So I this winter I got a Mac Studio with an M1 chip in it. So that's running Ableton and TouchDesigner and Glover. And then I'm on a PC, I'm running Unity for the suit. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, sorry. So I've got a question. Like, will there be conflicts between your key bindings, like for example, within your glove movement and your data in the virtual 3D Unity scene? Like you talked about, rehearsing. So rehearsal, did you find it?
It's more like that sometimes I've just mapped something illogical when things just get in a way, or I've mapped something and then, for example, if I'm controlling the reverb and then in one scene, and then I make the computer switch scenes. So within a song, I'll have different setups. So in one part of the song, I'm controlling the reverb, and then I'm controlling the bass. So for example, if I've changed the reverb to be completely open by doing this movement, and it switches to the next scene, but I haven't moved back. I need to make sure that the reverb goes back to the original position to not verb out the rest of the song, for example. So those are kind of things when you're mapping things you sometimes forget to think about, and you have to rehearse it to feel, oh yeah, shit, now the reverb is still on. I didn't want that. So yeah.
So does that allow for some sort of like discrepancies, a little bit of a misalignment, but it still recognizes what you're telling it what to do, like some sort of a buffer like that?
Sorry, I don't fully understand the question.
I mean, is it possible to like...
To improvise? Or that's not what you were saying?
It might be a calibration problem, like when
yeah.
you the, the gesture recognizer, like it will understand with some sort of errors in your movements, but it can still tell that what you're telling it to do.
Yeah, I mean, for example, the posture recognition is pretty good in that sense, that, so it like knows pretty quickly what you meant. I just, how do I deal with this stuff? I just make sure that always things get reset at a certain point. So I can mess up, or it can be slightly different or something while I'm controlling something, but then afterwards it will always be reset to a position or a level that I want it to be in. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Just another thing about the baby mouth things. yeah, I think that the mouthing is only related to the volume of your voice or something.
Yeah, right now it is, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it is possible to like implement a voice recognizer to, I don't know, to tell from your voice, like your vowels, like A-I-O-U, since they differ how much the lips open. So maybe it could be more.
Yeah. Surely, that's surely possible. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. That's it.
A quick one. How many of these gloves have been made so far?
Sorry, how many of the gloves?
Yeah.
I don't know the exact number right now, but 300 or something, or maybe more. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah. Fun story. Back in 2014, Imogen tried to crowdfund this with Kickstarter. Do you know what happened? Whatever happened?
Yeah, they didn't raise enough money, so the Kickstarter fell through.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And then, but then they invited people who did pledge to come to buy them after all, to get, and then we made each of those people, just for them, we made them a pair of gloves, and that's kind of how then it started anyway. Yeah. And then only a few years later, we were able to really commercialize, or to commercially make them available. Yeah, but it was pretty hard.
We have a question from the stream.
Yeah.
What is the typical latency with OSC from Bartek?
Oh, I don't know what the official latency is, but it's like, I don't notice it.
I can answer that, actually.
Okay, thanks.
OSC travels over Ethernet or Wi-Fi, so it's the speed of electricity.
Yeah, but in my case, it's all happening in the same computer, so I don't know.
It's very fast.
Yeah, it's like that. That's why I never notice any latency. Yeah. Yes.
Who designed your costume?
Good question. My mom. The question was who could design my costume. It was my mom, but we used an AI to come up with the pattern, or with the. So in DALL-E, while we were, so my mom's a costume designer, so we've made multiple of my costumes before, and for this one, just for jokes, I put into DALL-E futuristic cat suits with space for wires, and the whole top of this suit came out. Super cool. So this shape and this part it was like a drawing made by DALL-E. So I wanted that, and then we drew the rest of it, and she sewed it. Yeah, thank you. You haven't asked some questions. Can she go first? Yeah, come up. Yeah, okay.
How do you travel with all the setup and manage it logistically?
Yeah, so we have a big cart called the buggy. And it fits the whole of B.A.B.Y, as a buggy should do. I don't know, she's not close. She's somewhere back there. But everything fits really neatly in this in the buggy.
Those rods, do they break down?
No. Do you need help? Okay, go. No, you can. It's fine. We can. Otherwise, we turn the sound a little bit, the synths a bit down. It's all. Yeah. So we pack everything. So it's a big cart, and all the arches are there upside down, and all the other equipment, the cables, those boxes, they're all fitted in there too. But it's it's a bit of an operation. So this is the first time that B.A.B.Y, crossed the North Sea and traveled without her mom. So I was really worried for 2 days. We needed to put her on transport. But everything worked out perfectly well. Do you play an instrument? What do you play? Piano. Okay, sick. Okay, everything. Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a question here.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you collaborate with your team member. Could you tell us a little bit about how normally do you collaborate with them? For example, for the visuals and for the tech and for other technical issues?
Yeah. So there was the collaborations that happened for this were the hardware. So Sven, who's my sound technician, he's up there. He also built the whole hardware system for B.A.B.Y. So all those boxes he built, and figuring out what kind of cabling and like all of that stuff he did. I didn't have anything to do with it. And the Unity interface, I worked with like a game developer. So he built that whole interface, and he built all the sort of the mathematics around that. So calculating where I am on the stage and sending that data out so I could use it. And then sort of the basics of my TouchDesigner project. My friend Roy Chagall from YFX Lab in Amsterdam, he helped me set that up. So he basically, we were on holiday together 2 years ago, and the whole holiday he was like, you have to get into TouchDesigner. You would really like it. But because B.A.B.Y. existed already then, but I was controlling her with a Python script. And I was working with the same game developer, Ruud and Kelder, and I had to tell him all the time, okay, I want a functionality where when I make a fit, or like I want be able to move a circle around B.A.B.Y, basically. And then he would have to program that in Python, and then I controlled it with OSC. But basically, every time I wanted a different visual effect, I had to ask him, did you like it? You want one? Yeah, cool. I had to ask him, can you make me this? And then obviously he had other stuff to do sometimes too, so it would take a few days or weeks even sometimes for me to see the effect and then be like, oh, I want to change it. Oh. So Roy told me, get into TouchDesigner, because then you can do all of this stuff yourself. So for me, getting into Touch was as big as a revolution as getting into Ableton Live, for example, so I could make and produce my own music rather than having to ask a producer. So now, Roy did help me set up sort of the DMX outputs and sort of the kind of the structure, but now I like all of the content I make by myself.
Oh, that's pretty amazing.
Thanks. It's really freeing, and that's why, you know, I think also the show is really me, and there's no obstacle between what I want to do and this other person I have to ask to do something that I'm looking for.
Understand.
Yeah. Yeah? The lady behind you.
Very quickly, you're in the music industry. How easy is it for you to... It's a really weird question, but for venues to take you on board with your technology, how open are they to your technology?
Yeah, I would say that's a bigger struggle for me than making all of this. To position myself. There are like brave programmers like here who really see that this is also music. And don't see it just as like a nerdy tech, avant-garde nerdy tech thing. But yeah, it's a challenge, but I have work, and I play a lot of conferences and events, so like as entertainment, you know, it's cool because it pays the bills, and you know, it's an experience. But it doesn't allow me to play the whole show. I don't get the connection with the audience that I'm looking for. So what I'm doing here this week, playing 3 nights in a row in a theater where people come to see this whole work it's the dream. So hopefully it will be more of that. This is also why I've released all the music from the show as an album. That happened yesterday. I have some posters with me from the album with the download code. So if anyone wants to get that, you can. I'm selling them. Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully, maybe releasing music as a normal music artist will help. We'll see. Yeah.
I'm not very technical at all, so forgive this question.
No.
If you were to say, like, my favourite instruments are a bassoon and a cello, can you program left hand to do bassoon, right hand to cello, and your favorite key is A flat major, so the left hand is A flat major and the right hand is C minor or something.
Yeah.
Can you do things as simple as that?
Yeah.
And just listen to the car crash that happens?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
easy, yeah. You do that in Ableton, for example, so that's the music application that I'm using. MIDI is the protocol that I'm using to control that application, and you can send MIDI over different channels. So I can send the bassoon, MIDI for the bassoon to channel 1, and I can send the MIDI for the cello to channel 2, and they wouldn't interfere. Yeah.
So what's your starting point? Because the world is your oyster.
I know.
How do you...
Yeah.
You know, how?
How? Isn't it clear? Well, my starting point is the music that I already wrote. For Unlocked, which is the show that I'm playing right now, or tonight, I wrote the music over the last couple of years, and then made all of this. So when I'm rehearsing or I'm creating the work for the show, I just listen to the music, or obviously I know the music really well because I made it. I imagine the parts of the track that I think will be most engaging and most fun to play, and then I program it. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. I was just wondering on the making the music side of things, how much of your performance setup and the tools you're using there, do you carry any of that through to when you're making music, like the gloves and the studio? Do you use that to give new ideas, or is it?
Yeah, in this case, I didn't really, because I wrote most of the music during the pandemic when I was really angry with screens and technology, and I wanted just to be in nature and like enjoy musicality and write lyrics to get out of this hellhole. This is like the album and the show are called Unlocked. It started kind of as a pun around the lockdown, but it means it's also talking about unlocking something within yourself, getting to know yourself. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you must have experienced this, that when you were so confronted, or you were so much with yourself, that you ran into a lot of things that you didn't really know about yourself, that were pretty confrontational. That's what this whole project kind of is about, and that's what B.A.B.Y is. She's my ego or my brain, and confronting me with parts of myself that sometimes are not super comfortable, but also, are really, really me. So this music wasn't really written with, the idea of B.A.B.Y didn't even exist yet then. I knew, obviously, that I was going to perform it with the gloves, but I didn't really take it into consideration. But I'm quite interested now. I've mastered this tool to now go back into the studio and see what kind of music I can make with it. But I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, it's interesting because so it sounds like you kind of devised an instrument to perform the music that you'd already made in a live setting. So yeah, it'd be cool to see what you do with that.
Yeah, in the studio. Yeah, I know. I'm going to try it. And my expectation is that the music will be quite different from what I'm doing now. It's pretty poppy and very songy, because that's just the music that I love. But I'm really interested in see what happens if I now just put some sounds on this and just start moving and see what the music sounds like. Yeah.
Lou, has there been any partnerships, collabs, or events that you've done previously that has worked really well with your ethos, or is there things that you want to do in the future that could work?
Yeah. You mean like partnerships with artists or tech company or?
Yeah, just like anything in general that you've done either with this project or other projects that you've done that just works really well for the type of performances you want to do.
Yeah, so I mean the Mimeu obviously and Xsense that I have the suit from, they're both sort of project partners in a way, helping me with the technology whenever there's any issues. Which is amazing because if I wouldn't have these tools, I wouldn't know. I couldn't do anything. I wouldn't go back to playing the piano, I think. Something that I'm currently really excited about, and I already did a first test with, is a full dome. So I'm excited about, rather than only being in B.A.B.Y by myself, is inviting you all in B.A.B.Y. So with a full projection dome, you have 360 video all around you, and also 360 audio all around you. And a year ago, I went to Plymouth, where they have one of those domes, and I experimented with being in there and moving in there, and I was able to make the visuals happen like all around, and the sound moved along with it. So yeah.
Yeah, because I was also going to ask actually, has there been any thoughts or considerations about using like contextual information, like the size of the audience, like the sort of noises that they make, or like the weather or the time?
Currently?
Yeah, currently or before.
Yeah, before. I mean, yeah, I've had one horrible show once where I was playing, so I do this harmonizing thing quite often, but then I was in a venue where 200 people were just having a chat, and all of this audio information went into my microphone and into the harmonizer, and it was just chaos. That's why it's a little bit better if it's quieter in the room, but we can now handle it with good EQing and stuff, but I didn't do that then yet. Now, I really enjoy the seated audience vibe, because it's so much to take in when you see everything that it's kind of nice that you don't have to worry about how you're standing, behaving, or whatever, and you can just relax and be in the dark. But I think with this full dome idea, I would quite like to explore what's possible in terms of more audience interaction, and also the audience moving around the room, or I don't know yet, exploration to happen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here's one.
I just wanted to know, like, who your inspiration is, and like who your favorite artists were when you were a kid, and like your favorite musicians, I guess.
Yeah. When I was a kid, Mozart, Ella Fitzgerald, what are the other? MC Hammer. Yeah, so like really real music-y people. There was a lot of classical music in my house, but also a lot of like 70s rock. I love the Spice Girls, obviously, because that's like, I'm that generation. So I'm actually finally finding the courage to actually do a little bit of sort of girl bandy choreography in my show. And later on, I really got into electronic music, but also like always that kind of crossover. So I really loved James Blake. For a long time, I was a fan of his. Björk is a big one. She's so amazing. Like how for such a long time she's always so innovative and not scared of doing something completely new, collaborating with young people who are on the cutting edge of whatever it is, and that the fact that she's a woman for me is also just that's really inspiring. So and for me to end up in Mimeu led by Imogen, and like most of the over half of the team behind Mimu, they're female. For me, that was really important to feel like, oh yeah, I can learn this. You know, they all had no doubts, and for me, that's why also I'm now starting Lovelace, because I want to offer that environment where it's you can just start somewhere and just ask questions and feel supported. Yeah.
So from audience point of view, what do they? So there is a lot happening, right, with the lights and the gestures and suit, music, dance. What does the audience like most? Like when they talk to you or share on social media from what have you heard? And what is your favorite thing, like as a geek, like, or as a musician, I guess?
Yeah.
About this.
It's my favorite part. Hi, thank you. The feedback that I get, I think like the total experience, that it's, and also sometimes people come to the show because of the technical stuff, but then they are surprised by the musical side of it as well, that they actually do really like the music and my singing, which is always the biggest compliment for me. What do I enjoy? I think, yeah, what I was just talking about, that sometimes I have these little moments where there's some interaction between Baby and me that I didn't plan, and then she really feels alive, and then I just get the chills and I can get really emotional. So for me, that's exciting when like a little bit unexpected things happen. And like Baby doesn't have a name for no reason. I really love her. She's like this animal in my life. And it's really funny because everywhere we tour, everybody's talking about Baby, as in like baby. So the word baby, the name Baby is dropping all the time. So everybody in this room, like all the technicians, everybody just calls her Baby, which is so cool. You know, that she's not the installation, the machine that Chagall brought. You know, I really love that. Yeah. Yeah. What is the time?
I wanted to know if you've ever considered like doing a performance with someone else, like a more dancey one, and each having like suits and how it work.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to work with actual dancers. The only thing that it's a bit scary to me because it will really make apparent how not like professional a dancer I am. You know, I move, but it's not my first talent at all. But I think it would be amazing. I don't even know if they needed to have any sensors on. But I don't know. I haven't experimented with it yet. But I can imagine it might get really confusing for the audience to see what's happening if everybody's wearing something. But I don't know. But I would love to. So I work with a choreographer for all of this stuff. So I make initially I make sort of the necessary movements to control the things, and then I go in with her, and we talk about what the song is about, and then we kind of make a choreography that actually adds to the story of the song. And it's always when I see her do it, it looks so much better than why I do it. So I always imagine that would be super cool to have her and maybe someone else on stage too. We just haven't got that far yet. I had this idea that we would change it, like do something about these circles and change them a little bit, but you know, we don't have to. Does anyone have any ideas they want to try? Don't have to. Letters? Yeah, of course I can. Wait, so, I mean, it's possible. The only thing is that we only have 12 pixels, so because there are only 12 lines, so you can't really see anything super detailed, only in the length. So moving things from left to right is way less smooth than going up and down. But yeah, you can do that in TouchDesigner for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm going to restart. Open my show file. Yeah, we'll move it out. Thank you, lovely assistant. Oh, thanks. Actually, I'm going to do Ridgeline because because the intro I don't sing, and it might be nice for you to see the whole. But you should come to the show. It's much better.
Where do you have your? Sorry.
Yeah.
Where do you have your posters?
My posters back here. I'll get them.
Can we have them on the way out? Or?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll try to play the song. Wait, let me load the project. I'll get them now. Play the song, and then we could do posters. Here. See? So the image on the cover of my album is this. It's called The Capture. It was made by Eduardo Fitch, who's a longtime visual collaborator of mine. And it's, do you recognize the outfit? It's the Chagall. But she's kind of merged, basically it's the Chagall with my face, my real face. So he made this image digitally, and then we hung me up in cables from the ceiling. And so it's sort of, yeah, me, analog and digital at the same time. Okay. Oh no. Come on, baby. Let's turn this off too. I'm gonna unplug the leap. I mean, it does take a while. It's a big, big project, but I have to turn A.B.Y on too. So this is another application I use called A.B.Y, and that kind of manages your set list for you. So I can change the set list for like shorter or longer shows. Anyone? Questions? Yeah.
You mentioned a while ago that you'd sold that the company Mimu had sold about 300 sets maybe of the gloves, and I wondered if you could give some examples of where they ended up or where we might see this technology.
Yeah.
And also if you know of anyone who's using the technology in a way like you.
Yeah, there are a few people who are also working with visuals. There's also one I've seen with LEDs. Most users are musicians, and they make music with them, and often with voice stuff, but also a lot of more instrumental things. You can also get just one. So there's also people who play in a band or something, and then they only need one, or I used to be super in tune with, like, I literally knew everybody who had a pair of gloves, but because the group's grown quite a lot over the years that I wasn't so involved because I was doing this. Like most people who are using them and posting about them, they do tag Mimu, so you can find quite a lot of artists who are doing cool stuff. Yeah. Has this loaded? Nope.
Is there a difference between the response you've had from mainland Europe to the UK? Because I feel, this might be a bit naive, but I feel like Europe is a lot more techno than we are.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if there was.
Yeah, it's so funny because this is where I found, like this is where I got to know the gloves, obviously. So for me, coming to the UK, I lived here for 6.5 years, and this is where I got to know all of this stuff. I don't know. I mean, I have this. This is the first time I'm playing this work in the UK, but so far it's been good. I don't know. Yeah. Don't know. Okay, let's try this again. This is really frustrating. Okay, this is looking better. Oh, I see, it's already almost 4. So if you have to go and you can.
Just one last question.
Yeah.
And have you thought about making lyrics in your sound to also program the installation, like when you're chanting through your words, and then maybe complementary stuff?
You're really into like words and mouth stuff, aren't you? Yeah. So whether I could something could recognize what word I'm saying, and then I could trigger stuff by saying mouth, tree, or something. Is that what you mean? Maybe.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I know. That sounds difficult. Haven't tried that yet.
I was just thinking it might be a good complementary stuff to the motion music and stuff. So it would be, I don't know, more organic.
Yeah. What would you control? What do you have in mind? Tell me.
For example, if you want to trigger something and it's really hard to cram into your comment to say it's really, I don't know, already crammed or there are overlappings, and maybe you can just use voice, like just some simple sound like ps or stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Talking about, the whole just the voice the voice assistant stuff, like you're telling the whole installation to function that way. No, it's just very complementary.
Yeah, you're right. I actually do have the Voclia microphone. So it's a system where it does vocal recognition, and you can map vocal stuff to MIDI. I haven't used it yet with this, but you gave me an idea there. Thanks. Okay, so it opened. Let's see if I can play Ridgeline, and then that's the end. Where is Ridgeline? No, it's again. So it'll be a few minutes over time. And then starting the server. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see if we can do this. No. Oh, my left glove is off. That doesn't help. Oh, nose. I'll show you the avatar. Okay, let's see. Oh, wait, no, stop. Stop. We don't have the right visuals. Why is that? Oh, I have to be here. Ridgeline. Oh yeah. We should just be able to see it right now. Let's open it again. Maybe this is too hard. Why don't I see the stars? This is crazy. Why is this? Okay, I'm really sorry, guys. I don't think this is happening. You should come tonight. I'm sorry. I don't want to take up too much of your time, and I want to give you an opportunity to get some of these posters before you head out. But thank you so much for coming. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. Put some music back on. Okay. Thank you so